What's up, NBA fans? So a report recently just came out that the Knicks almost signed Kemba Walker last offseason. Recently, Kemba Walker went on the Ringer podcast and he said this about his free agency last season.
Were the Knicks a serious consideration for you when you were a free agent this past year?
To be honest, yes. Yes. Very serious. Very. No, at one point, yes. Yes. Very serious. Before Boston actually came along, the Knicks was one of my top priorities, actually, because I was thinking that they were going to get another player. But it didn't work out.
You made the right choice, dog. I'm going to say it for you. You made the right choice, bro.
Yeah, that's really all I can say, though. The Knicks, they were definitely a priority.
Yeah.
This makes a lot of sense. Kemba Walker is originally from the Bronx, so it makes sense why he would want to sign with a team in his hometown. It's also interesting that he said that he thought the Knicks were going to get another star player. Right before last year's trade deadline, the Knicks traded KP mainly for cap space with the hope of landing 2 max free agents. If the Knicks manage to sign one marquee talent like KD, there probably is a strong chance Kemba Walker signs. We all know that the Knicks didn't land anybody and Kemba Walker ended up going to Boston. The Boston Celtics are a first-class organization, so it makes sense why they would be his first choice after the Knicks. After 8 years of losing in Charlotte, Kemba wanted to join a winning organization. But this isn't a Knicks bashing video. We already get enough of those on mainstream sports outlets like Bleacher Report. The fact that Kemba Walker was on the brink of signing with the New York Knicks says a lot about their appeal as an organization. But before we continue, if you like videos like this, please subscribe. I love making content like this for you guys, and supporting the channel by subscribing really helps me to produce more dope videos. Now let's continue. The fact of the matter is, being located in New York City makes the Knicks very appealing. New York City is often considered by many to be the greatest city in the world. The Knicks have the largest media market in North America and a lot of businesses that can offer athletes off-the-court sponsorship deals. Regardless of whether the Knicks are good or not, they're always going to be attractive to potential free agents. Over the past 10 years, despite the Knicks' futility, they always managed to land meetings with the top free agents. In 2010, the Knicks had an in-person free agent meeting with LeBron James, and they also had planned meetings with LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard over the past 10 years, but those meetings ended up getting canceled. And now we're learning that the Knicks were actually Kemba Walker's top option before he went to Boston. Now, the Knicks have consistently failed to land each of those top free agents, but the fact that they were consistently able to get their foot in the door despite their futility is extremely significant. If a team like Charlotte calls LeBron's agent, he probably hangs up the phone. But the fact that the Knicks could get a meeting says a lot. This means that the Knicks could very easily land themselves a star player if they were to become a relevant team. New York is appealing, but it isn't so appealing that the Knicks can land a star without already having a strong foundation in place. What this means for the Knicks is that if they rebuild properly, they can land one of the top stars at free agency in just a few seasons. If they go all in on player development, develop the players that they have now, and draft more young talent, the Knicks can realistically make the playoffs in the 2021 to 2022 season. They're not going to get any of the marquee free agents this offseason or next offseason, but there will be some marquee free agents in 2022, 2023, and 2024. In 2022, there will be a lot of big name players available, but the ones that stick out to me the most is James Harden and Bradley Beal. James Harden has been putting up some of the greatest offensive numbers that the league has ever seen. Now, James Harden will be 33 at the time, but he has the type of game that will age gracefully. His game isn't based on athleticism, but skills. He's one of the best ball handlers and has one of the best jumpers in the game, and that step-back three-pointer is a cheat code. James Harden will still be a dominant player in his age 33 season. This could potentially be a great pickup for the Knicks. Bradley Beal is one of the best shooting guards in the league. This year, he averaged 30 points and 6 assists a game. He'll be right in his prime during the 2022 offseason at the age of 29. Beal could also be an amazing pickup for the Knicks. In 2023, Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic will be free agents. Now, the Knicks already have a really good center in Mitchell Robinson, but here they could acquire one of the two best centers in the NBA. Nikola Jokic, in my opinion, is the best center in the NBA. He's already the greatest passing center of all time. He's a good scorer down low, and he's passable on the defensive end. Right now, it's hard to see Jokic leaving Denver, but if they continue to fail to get out of the West, it's not out the realm of possibility. Joel Embiid is the more realistic option. The Sixers have not only failed to get to the finals, but Embiid and Ben Simmons don't really complement each other. If the Sixers continue to fail in the playoffs, it's believed by many that the Sixers will choose between Embiid and Simmons, and most believe that the Sixers will prefer to build around Ben Simmons. If Embiid hits the free agency market in 2023, the Knicks need to go for him. He's a great player on both ends of the floor. In 2024, Karl Anthony Towns, Pascal Siakam, Devin Booker, and Jaylen Brown will all be free agents. This is the most interesting free agency class out of the other two. Karl Anthony Towns is one of the best young players in the NBA, and in 2024, he'll be right in his prime at the age of 28. Towns is one of the best centers in the league. This season, he's putting up a monster stat line of 26.5 points, 10.8 boards, and 4.4 assists a game. Towns is an unstoppable scorer in the post, he's got a great face-up game, and he's already the greatest shooting center ever, shooting 41% from 3 this season on a ridiculous 8 attempts a game. Pascal Siakam is another one of the top young players in the league today. By the time 2024 hits, he'll be right in his prime at 30. Siakam is one of the best two-way players in the league. On offense, he could score in the post, he could take his man off the dribble and attack the basket, and he can also knock down the three ball. On defense, Siakam is not only a great isolation defender, but also a great help defender. He will be a great fit right next to RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. The next notable guy that'll be available this time is Devin Booker. Devin Booker is already one of the most unstoppable scorers in the league. He's able to score from everywhere on the court, and he's very clutch too. Devin Booker has even started expanding his game outside of scoring, as he averages just under 7 assists a game this year. Unfortunately for him, he's been wasting his talents away playing for the losing Phoenix Suns. He'll only be 27 by the time 2024 rolls around, so he could be a great pickup for the Knicks. The last guy I want to talk about is Jaylen Brown. Brown will only be 27 by the time 2024 hits, and he's already one of the true elite two-way players in the league today, and he'll only get better as time goes by. I know 2024 is a long time in the future, but the Knicks really should be thinking long term. If the Knicks take rebuilding seriously, they will be able to land one of those top free agents in the near future. The Knicks likely aren't going to make the playoffs next season, but if they stay true to their rebuild, they could make the playoffs the year after next, and just simply being a 7th or 8th seed would attract star free agents. The fact that Kemba Walker almost came to the Knicks last offseason suggests that they only need to become a good team, maybe just a 45-win team, to attract the top free agents. The blueprint for the Knicks' path to relevancy is clear if they observe the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets were left in shambles after the Paul Pierce-Kevin Garnett trade, so they rebuilt their team by focusing on player development and draft picks. All it really took for the Nets was to become a 6th seed, and they landed 2 of the marquee free agents last year. The reality is, New York has so much pull that all it really takes is to show that you're a competent franchise with a good team, and the marquee players will come along. If the Knicks rebuild properly, they will be in prime position to land a marquee talent in the next few offseasons. With that said, that's going to be the end of the video. Don't forget to like and sub, and enjoy the rest of your day.